So what is this, like the last time we'll do this if we finish this step?
I don't think that we're gonna finish this. Oh, but the thing is, we might finish the this turn-in, this milestone. There's no way in hell that we're gonna be finishing the actual objective phase tonight.
Not with that attitude.
I mean, look how many things we need. we need
Everyone can just stop what they're doing and hand build everything.
we need 4,000 of 2 things and 1,000 of 2 things. And they're things we're not even making yet. They're things we're not even making all the parts for yet. Speaking of, I need to get working on this. Is it turbo? Yeah, turbo motor. So I'm making this. I need to make this. I need to make a radio control unit. I think I'm going to make that at Craig's place because Craig is the one who is making some of this. Well, then again, I'm actually making 2 of the things that it needs. Maybe I do need to make it. I have everything else. I could also just hand make these. I could also just hand make these. Would you like to know more?
Do you believe you might be psychic?
He's afraid. He's afraid! Yay! Are you gonna play that game?
I probably will. I've seen Hat Films play it. I've seen Tom, Purian, and Ben play it. Someone in my Discord streamed it, so I've seen a lot of it.
Yeah.
And the general consensus across a lot of people is that it's got really good, solid groundwork to be a really interesting game. It's obviously very bare bones, but functional. It seems of all the footage I've seen of it, it doesn't seem too bad bug wise. Besides the bugs you're actually killing.
How's our computers doing?
Like, there's still some bug types that were in the movie that they have not made yet.
Yeah, the big like beetle ones.
The big fire beetle,
yeah.
The flying bugs.
The ones that shoot things up into space as well. I don't know how they would incorporate that into the gameplay, but
it'd have to be a whole different mode. Yeah. I can imagine different like mission modes that involve different bug types. Obviously, at some point, they have to introduce a mission where you're going into Bug City. Or whatever the hive is. Like, they obviously have to include the brain bug hunt. It's like, you have to hunt a brain bug.
Yeah. Is there even any, like, is there like a psychic class that you can play as?
As far as I know, there isn't. There's like, there's like a medic, basic infantry, which I think they call hunters. Heavy arms guy, which I see a lot of. What the heavy arms guy does is that he puts down a little mini emplacement, a little circular fence around him, and it basically roots them in place. And without that emplacement, the machine gun they're using has like obscene recoil. But when you put the emplacement down, that recoil's gone. But granted, you're stuck in place. There is another class type that comes with a jetpack. And that's all I've seen so far. So I think there's like 4 classes you can be. But funny that Starship Troopers has gone into early access. Another game was announced that is kind of like a similar-esque kind of game to Starship Troopers, with the same sort of like over-the-top patriotism and political thing,
Call of
is
Duty?
Helldivers.
Ah.
Helldivers
It's Call of Duty,
2
but,
was announced.
yeah. Oh, I see.
And here's the weird
I
thing.
don't know what
Helldivers,
game that is. Like, I mean, I didn't even know what kind of game it is.
it's like a twin stick shooter,
Oh, okay.
and it's kind of like isometric camera angle kind of thing. And it's very much friendly fire is on. You can kill your teammates. Funnily,
Sounds like
when
my kind of game.
one time I was playing it with some people, and another person joined in like after the fact, after we had already started the mission, so they came in a dropship. Well, the dropship landed on one of us and killed them immediately. But it is also over the top, like, do your part and join the military now. That kind of exceptionalism. But 2 is a bit of a departure. It's actually a third-person shooter instead of the twin-stick shooter that it was.
Hi.
Blink has joined the game.
Welcome, Blank.
No, it's not blank, it's...
This is gonna be weird. But we can do it.
So I rewatched Starship Troopers last night. It is a lot more gory than I remember it was.
Yeah, it's a Paul Verhoeven movie. He gets gory. I mean, you remember RoboCop?
I'll buy that for $1.
I'll buy that for $1. Alright,
There's a certain way they shot the film. They kind of... It doesn't... I don't remember it kind of having a bit of a weird, like, vignette on it. It's hard to explain, because it doesn't quite look like movies around the same time.
yeah. Is that me? It's been years since I've seen Starship Troopers.
I occasionally think about it. In fact, I was playing Aliens Fireteam Elite, and as we were going through it, I was like, you know what would be a good game, like, you know, a game kind of like this? Starship Troopers. And sure enough, like, a few months later, I find out they're making a new Starship Troopers game. Not quite like Fireteam Elite, but still pretty good. It is about as chaotic as it can be, like the film was.
don't think we do, actually.
One of the funniest things you can do is that if you can't revive someone when they're down because there's a bleed out timer, you can salute them and you'll gain experience.
Oh, the Starship Troopers?
Yeah, you can salute a fallen soldier.
Nice.
So you can literally press F to pay respects. You also gain experience if you salute the flag. Do your duty and become a citizen today.
Can you pledge allegiance to the flag?
Isn't that what saluting is?
No. Saluting is saluting. Pledging allegiance is pledging allegiance.
That's for civilians. You're there to become a citizen.
For everyone. Did you pledge your allegiance to fix it, Lastro?
We don't have a flag.
You don't have to. You
I
just
need
pledge
to pledge my
allegiance
allegiance
directly to
to
fix it.
I need,
Yeah, to
I need
fix
a
it.
face to fix it. Put a face down and I can pledge allegiance.
You're breaking up again, Lost Joke. Alright. I think I'm going to do another train. I think I need to add a train to this. I think I need to split up Boxy and the crystals, because it's like taking too long. I'm actually running out of bauxite. I'm like using it all up before the train
We need
can
to
actually
build
get
our
back.
nuclear plant. Nuclear plant.
Nuclear. It's pronounced nuclear.
What is this not Tetris music playing?
That does mean I need to come back though.
You know what I find myself kind of wanting to play because of Satisfactory?
So
Viscera.
it's been a while.
I'm sure it's as functional as ever, though.
I can do that. I can do that, so I will do that.
What, are you gonna clean up your Viscera?
No, I'm talking to myself here.
Viscera is the sequel that takes place after we all die violently.
Viscera is the custodial department of Fix-It. It's called Clean It. I need some heavy modular frames.
Thing is, I don't want things to go this way. So why is this all messed up? Tell you what. Let me just.
I am making heavy modular frames.
There we go.
They're all being sent to Merc, though, via drone.
Yeah.
So I need to find this drone and shoot it down.
Alright, this works. I think.
That's what Fallout has taught me. I have to shoot down drones. That's not fair. It's not just Fallout. Division taught me the same thing.
Is there any context where you shouldn't shoot down a drone? I don't think so. Hi, Kyle.
Hello.
Hello. So Craig, did you hear that? I mean, we already knew it was announced, but we haven't seen anything about it until this week. Talos 2 was announced for this year.
Boogaloo.
In fact,
I did not hear that.
in a couple of months, actually. It's actually coming out very soon.
Nice.
This is
What's
fine.
that?
Talos Principle 2. It's a really good game. I streamed it a few years ago. This is just going from... Where's this? Station 17 to... It's Mexico City. And then also to... Craig, where am I dropping off crystals at Limestone, etc.? Must be.
Yeah.
It must be.
They're going to a particular terminal, though. Looks like they're going to freight platform 2.
Mexico City, I want you to unload silica. Let's see. And at Limestone, I want you to
We're
unload...
talking about raw quartz, right?
Yeah. Rock quartz. Double check, make sure these are okay. These are not okay. Wait, no. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Save changes. Turn on self-drive. Should probably catch right back. Oh yeah, and then I will turn off Boxy coming here. Boxy, don't come here anymore.
You're not welcome here anymore. We don't serve your kind.
We don't serve alcohol to droids.
My friend doesn't like you.
Leave that for now to empty it out,
I don't like you either.
and then we'll probably get rid of that car. We're wanted in 12 systems.
I'll be careful.
You'll be dead. Talos Principle is a... Sorry, I got distracted by trains. Talos is it's a puzzle game. It's a first-person puzzle game, but it's really good. The story is really good. The kind of world building, especially in the expansion, is really good. So I expect good things. It was something that was announced years ago, but it's been 100% completely quiet the entire time. Until this week
Is it a
when
single
it
player
was
game?
finally announced. Yeah, it is.
Single player, yeah. If a game goes on for multiple years in silence, two things happen. It's in dev hell, or they're very focusing on making this game.
Yeah.
They have been working. They did do stuff for They do like a Serious Sam like remake, I think, at some point. So they've been busy. It's the same people who made Serious Sam, by the way. But yeah, it's nice to hear, and I'm actually very surprised that it's coming out that soon. Like it's like real soon. It said this year. I don't know if they actually said like a specific date, but I think it's like actually pretty soon, like in a couple months.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I might actually need to upgrade my video card for it though, because I want it to look nice. I want it to look pretty when I play it. I played the original on my 970, as I recall. This is before I upgraded, and I could get barely 60 FPS on it, but it was hard. It dipped sometimes. Didn't help that I was streaming it as well. But...
was it?
You keep saying you're gonna do that, but you still haven't done that.
Well, you're the one who told me to wait. You told me to wait before. Yeah, you did. I have video evidence of you saying just wait another couple months and the prices will go down. Well, guess what, bucko?
Oh, yeah.
The prices ain't gone down yet. Nvidia's being too stubborn.
That was like 6 months ago.
I know. I've been waiting so patiently, and I've actually been waiting a lot longer than that, because I was thinking about getting a 30 series when they came out, but of course they came out during the big shortage in the crypto bullshit, and so I couldn't even get one of those for the longest time. And now it's like I don't want to get like a 30 series when the 40 series is out, because I don't want to. I want to get something that will like actually last me like a good long while, like my 1080 has lasted me.
Like controversy at the moment with the 40 series and Smeagol? Wow.
Which that you have no idea how little that narrows it down. Yes, there are controversies. What about Smeagol?
Something to do with just the difference in performance between the 40 series. It's just not worth it.
Basically, the only one, as far as a price to performance ratio, the only one that's actually a good buy is the super expensive 4090. But the 4090, unfortunately, has issues. A bit widespread, not like super widespread, but basically it has issues with the number one, it uses a lot of power, and number two, it's actually exemplifying that it uses a lot of power by melting power cords.
Nice.
And that's been mostly resolved now, but it was an issue. The 4080 is like okay, it's not the best, again, in terms of price to performance. It's okay, but it's not that great. And then the 4070 is like also not good, and then after that it's just like completely like a stupid buy. Like don't buy the 4060, don't buy the 4060 Ti. So here's the thing, when you go back a generation and you look at the difference between, say, the 3060 and the 2060, right? There's like a market improvement. It's like actually like noticeably faster, as it should be, because it's the whole new generation, right? It's like significantly faster, which is of course as you would expect. But if you look at the difference between the 4060 and the 3060, it's like 5% better. And it's significantly more expensive.
Yeah.
And it also has less RAM than it should. Like, they're still shipping cards with 8 gigabytes of video RAM, which is like insane in today's day and age.
Especially with AI stuff requiring a lot of VRAM.
Yeah. And I mean, that's like a huge amount. That's like a huge reason why people even want this card is because of NVIDIA's various AI stuff like DLSS and all that stuff. And it's so weird that they're gimping their own cards and they're like charging too much for them at the same time.
Money.
Can't blame crypto anymore, at least.
No, you can't. You can blame the blame falls squarely on Nvidia. I was about to say Nintendo, but
No, let's just blame Nintendo for everything.
I could blame Nintendo for everything. It's fine.
Nvidia also had their stock price shoot way up for no good reason. Like way up. Many billions
Like every
of
other
dollars.
company doing all this shit.
Yeah. So I mean, I have been saving up, and theoretically I could get a 4080 or 4090. I don't want to pay that much. I wish I could pay like a couple $100 less, as it should be. But if I really wanted to, I have been saving up all this time, because like I said, I'm still using this 1080 Ti, and I mean it's still nice in most games. It's just that it doesn't do all of the new features. It doesn't do ray tracing. It doesn't do DLSS. It doesn't. And I'm doing some things that really are starting to require more power than I have to maintain a good frame rate. And I'm at 1080, and I would like at some point in the future to maybe go up to 1440 at some point. And I definitely can't do that with this card and keep all settings on high. So I mean, I am feeling it. I am feeling the need to upgrade. And the thing is, my 1080 is the what do I want to say, is the oldest part of my system right now. The rest of my system is really good, and I can very much get like a really good video card and use it. Just because I've been waiting for so long. What is your problem? What is your problem, drone? Oh, it's because you have no drone. That's fine. I don't care about you. It's just, spending
Just
that
have
much
to
money
wait.
stings. It stings a lot. Even if it's something that you want and need, spending more money than you think that you should spend definitely stings. And I definitely remember feeling that from when I bought my 1080, because again, I bought my 1080 Ti during the first cryptocurrency video card lack. And I paid quite a bit extra, but at the time I needed it. So there was nothing I could do. I did get a deal. The massive deal that I actually managed to find was still like a couple $100 over MSRP for my 1080 Ti. But it was like a massive deal at the time because everything else was even more expensive.
These prices are pretty stupid.
Yeah. And I know people could say like, oh, you could get an AMD, but like the issue with AMD is again, they don't support all the NVIDIA stuff. $5,000 for what?
4090.
Really? The MSRP is like 1,700. AMD, AMD doesn't do DLSS. They have their own version called was it FSR, but it's simply not as good. They have their own ray tracing thing, but like it's not as good as NVIDIA's. I also actively use NVIDIA's video encoder for streaming and recording, and I know AMD does have that, but again, it's I've heard it's kind of buggy and not that great. So I don't really have a choice. And then you have Intel, who is fighting really hard to get into the market right now, because they actually on the heels of NVIDIA's newest card announcements, the 4060 and such, Intel actually lowered the prices of their cards by $100, and they were already like really low. But the issue with number one, Intel still has the same issues that AMD has in that they don't do DLSS, they don't do the same ray tracing that NVIDIA does, but also their drivers are still kind of not great, and they have limited support for older titles. And I play older titles like quite a bit, so I can't really do that. And then I have no idea what their video encoder situation is like. I haven't really looked into it. They're really cheap, and they're actually really good if all you do is play like newer games. Like if all you do is play like Fortnite or like the latest games, you're probably fine with an Intel card. But if you play an eclectic assortment like I do, and if you do a lot of streaming and video stuff, then it's probably not the best for you. So again, that limits my options. So basically, I'm back to NVIDIA again. So I basically have to do NVIDIA because I need their stuff. I need their features. So at some point, I'm if they don't lower their prices, I'm just gonna have to pay for it. And it's getting down to it. Like I kind of need it soon. The rest of my computer is like ready for it. Has been ready for it. I have like a really nice computer otherwise. That the 1080 is currently kind of holding back, to be honest. Like as good as the 1080 Ti is, and it is good, and it's served me very well this whole time. It is starting to hold me back.
Holding you back, son.
Alright, there's no like issues. There is an issue. Crystal Method, why are you over there? Wait a minute. I gotta go check. What happened? Crystal Method should not be all the way over here. It looked like it was going toward the bauxite mine, but it's like... No, it's not. It's just going over here.
Crystal Method, as in like the music group?
Well, that's what I named it. It's the crystal car. I named it Crystal Method. You got a problem with that?
I don't remember you naming it such.
I named it, well, I just made it, like, a few minutes ago. I might actually have to add in another thing here, but we'll see. Are you gonna go, Crystal Method? Why are you not going? It's weird. I might have to add another lane. I don't want to, but I might have to. See if it happens again. Maybe it was a fluke. Why are you stopped? Why are you stopped, train? There's nothing here.
Break time.
I don't know why it stopped.
Break time. Trains are obligated to have one break.
There we go. It's like the stuff got confused.
Things get confused a lot in this game.
Yeah. Alright, that's working okay. I haven't like been doing anything because I've just been making sure that these stupid trains work okay. We're actually starting to get full on bauxite again, which is great. Actually, no, we're not. We're not actually getting full on bauxite because of that stuckage, but it's fine. It'll be fine. Where's Boxy? Oh, there you are. You're loading up. All right. Why did you say Smeagol? What
It's like
was?
not a particularly good-looking game, but people are
Oh,
struggling to run it on newer cards.
yes. I'm pretty sure what they did for that game was they here's my assumption, and this is based purely on just what I've seen, both pre-release and the original announcement and currently. I think what they wanted to do was they wanted to make it have like a stylized look, like almost a cartoony look. Not quite cartoony, but like, more stylized, not necessarily realistic. But somewhere along the way, it was decided that they needed it to be realistic to
They needed
match
to look more like
the
the
gritty
films.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah. And so basically they had the time to make the textures look more gritty and then slap a whole bunch of like post-processing effects and shit on top of it, and like that's what they did. Because if you actually look at like the models and the way everything looks, it does look like it was maybe meant to be stylized, and they just they changed it at the last minute. But then also like having said that, the game itself seems like shit. Like the animations are bad, like the movement of the faces and the movement of the actual characters, and as they move around, and the expressions and stuff, it all seems legitimately like poorly done. Like Bethesda does a better job than this game does, and Bethesda does a poor job a lot of the time.
My real question when it comes to the game is, who is this for?
That's also, people asked that when it was first announced, and you know what? People were right to ask that because it's still not clear. Here's the thing: even when it was announced, everybody assumed that it was going to be a like stealth game, right? And even I assumed it was going to be like a Gollum stealth game where you would play as Gollum and you would be going through these like orc camps or human camps, and you would have to stealth your way through and maybe kill people on the way. But generally, it was like a focused stealth game. It's not, apparently. There is stealth in it, but it's not a stealth game. Apparently, the first like several hours of the game has you doing these like chores in this like orc prison, and and it has like this story of this like political intrigue in this prison. And it's like, what is Gollum doing in this story? Why is he here? He's not doing anything. He's not even part of the story. Lost has left the game.
My builder broke again.
Oh, okay.
It seems to break if I switch too fast to things.
But like it's whatever story is in it, it just doesn't fit Gollum. Like there's no reason for Gollum to be in this kind of story.
Someone made a comment, I thought that was kind of amusing, is that it's like a team was given like full like AAA budget to make a Star Wars game, and they decided that the main character is going to be the mouse droid on an Imperial starship. Just why?
Mm-hmm.
A whole setting full of interesting characters or like stories that weren't really explored that much in the movies. We get Gollum.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I think it could have been interesting. It could have been an interesting story if they had kind of stuck to Gollum himself. If they had maybe made it a bit more focused on even if they had like introduced some kind of little like survival things, like what if you were playing as Gollum in that shitty cave and you had to like live on like bugs and fish for a while, and you were trying to make your way through, and what if they like had seen what if they actually had a scene where you met like Bilbo and like you actually had to play through that scene, or what if the scene was after that when he was following Frodo and them, and like that's what you played. Like that would have been a hell of a lot more interesting than what they ended up giving us. Still probably wouldn't have been that great, to be honest, but it would have been not shit. And then yeah, on top of all of that, on top of the game not looking good, not playing well, being for literally nobody, because who wanted a game like this, not making any sense as far as, you know, why Gollum is here, why he's doing the things that the game has you doing. It is a technical disaster. It runs poorly, even though it looks like crap. Oh yeah, and then even on top of that,
is it going to be the same thing?
it's probably
we're going to mention
microtransactions, the deluxe editions.
The microtransactions are for the lore.
The DLC you can pay. So number one, also the game is $60. The game is a full $60 game. And they have the nerve to charge you an extra $10 for the deluxe edition. That's $70 just so you can have the elves in the game speaking Elvish, and just so you can have a lore database in the game instead of, I guess, just going to a wiki. And and apparently, from what I've heard, the lore database isn't even that great. And included in this $10 extra deluxe pack is the ability to do emotes, to have Gollum do emotes in a single player game. You can have Gollum do stupid shit, I guess, for your own pleasure.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, it's really just, it was really just poorly done overall.
Decided that they were going to play it just for like the entertain, like everyone, let's just kind of like experience this value. And within the first 10 minutes of starting the game, it crashed, so they had to restart it.
Yeah.
Honestly, have game developers just kind of forgot how to optimize their products at the end?
I don't think they forgot. I think they're just not being given enough time. Having said that, though, these games are also being delayed. They'll delay it for like 6 months, and then it'll come out and it'll still perform like shit, because like, what are they doing in those 6 months? Why did they delay it? Who knows? They weren't fixing it, though. They weren't making it better. Maybe they were making it better, and this is as best as they could do. Yeah, there's been, I mean, I saw there's been a string of those just this year, a string of big releases that are just absolute garbage when it comes to performance. And it's like, yeah, some of them are fixed after the fact, but like, why were they released in such a state to begin with? Oh yeah. You know, especially the games that were delayed for months, because again, like, you would think that they're being delayed to fix up any technical issues, and then they come out and they have so many technical issues, and it's like, why then? Why were you delaying this? And then I read that Nintendo delayed Tears of the Kingdom by like an entire year for the sole purpose of giving it a really good, thorough polish pass.
That's not without its own controversy.
That's true, yeah.
And it's a stupid controversy. Like, it doesn't need to even be an issue, but people are trying to make it an issue.
Nintendo has its own controversies, but generally, when they do put out a game, the game is really polished and actually really good. I will give them that. Their games tend to be really good, very well polished, generally bug free, or at least, you know, the kinds of bugs that will like ruin, you know, a game.
What I mean specifically is
But
that people are getting up in arms, and honestly, for no good reason, about them reusing assets.
I mean, why though? It's like it's on this like the same engine. It's in the same world. Like, of course they're going to reuse assets.
No, they want the game to be rebuilt from the ground up again.
Are people angry at God of War devs for using
Yes.
assets from the first
Yes.
one and the second one?
They are in fact mad at God of War Ragnarok for using reusing assets.
Were people mad at what was it? Batman, the Arkham games? I mean, there's lots of reuse assets in those. Because
I think
again,
that,
it's the
that
same
those
world.
games
It's
were
the it's a
before
direct
this
sequel.
weird
Like, why
this
wouldn't they?
weird argument they are having about reusing assets. Is like, tell me you don't know anything about game development without saying you don't know anything about game development.
That seems really stupid. That seems really
It
dumb.
is. It is a very dumb argument for them to be dying on a hill for. But they are. They're like, it's like this has to be like, you know, a meme or a joke. He's like, you can't honestly be serious, but I'm beginning to think people are actually genuinely serious about this.
Coffee Stain, if your devs are watching, if you're like one dev is watching, this is breaking my game. This is breaking my game right here. This needs to be fixed immediately. It's like a little bit of, this is a little polygon sticking out. It's fine. Ruining my experience. I have been playing.
See the new video.
Yes, I did. I did see that. Very interesting additions. I'm kind of. I mean, I'm even more looking forward to it, but you know, again, depending on how long it takes them to release it, I don't know if we'll be playing. I don't know if we'll still be playing by the time it's released. They did say next month, but like, we could be done. I could be sick of this game by next month. I'm feeling it again tonight. I'm feeling a bit kind of lost and a little bit frustrated right now, just because we don't have enough materials, and I know that to get more materials, I would have to do so much work to get more.
What
I'm
materials do you
feeling
need?
Aluminum. I could fix that myself. The thing is, I know how to fix it. I know that I could fix it myself, but it would require a lot of work because I would have to expand what I have here, and I can do that. Again, it's not like I can't do that. It's just so much work, and I don't feel like it right now.
When has a game gone past being a game for fun to being a game for work?
Right now. It happened. It has happened right now. I was
You
gonna
need
say.
aluminium. You don't need any sort of aluminium product.
I mean, products. Yes, I need. Specifically, we are running low on casing. I am making it. I just could do with having quite a bit more. I have been playing Tears of the Kingdom, and I have been enjoying it. As much as it's unfortunate that I can't like stream it, because I don't feel safe streaming that. Because I'm always afraid that Nintendo is gonna come after me. At this point, especially. I wasn't really afraid of that before, but
without any problems.
What's that?
So many people have been streaming it, like thousands of people.
Yeah, I'm sure, but like, I don't know. It bothers me. It bothers me that they have gone after people who were, streaming it even legitimately, just because they also have other videos that were less legitimate. Like we've talked about this before, with that one guy who was playing a modded version that adds multiplayer, which, number one, that sounds fun as hell. Nintendo, you're supposed to be a fun video game company. Why are you like punishing people for having fun playing your games? but then also he had non-modded, video, from a capture card, which is again how I would do it. I would stream via a capture card, and those were also targeted by Nintendo. So it's like nothing is safe at this point. That's what I feel.
It's no secret. It's not safe.
That's just how I feel. But also, having said that, I've been having a lot of fun with God of War, so it's fine. I'd have to like stop that or hurry through it to play Zelda, and I don't want to do that. I like taking my time, and playing it on my own also means I can just take my time.
Get out of the way, you giant, stupid animal thing.
Oh, what is this supposed to be grabbing? Oh, nothing. What was I doing here? What was I doing with this drone? I don't remember what I was doing here. Maybe I was preparing to grab stuff from Craig's base. Maybe I was preparing to grab the radio stuff from Craig's base. Maybe that's what this was. But I mean, like I said, I haven't had fun with it as much as I hate that Nintendo is such a downer. I have been having fun with it. Are these not getting any... Is this not connected? Why isn't this getting silica? The hell?
You guys got
There it goes.
miners on all the silica nodes, on all the quartz nodes.
This isn't getting it either. Not all of them. I'm sure there's some out there that we don't have.
The only one I only have one quartz node near me, and that one's being mined.
I can see that.
There it goes. Oh, all
There's
right.
another
Well,
one there though.
that's weird.
It's not claimed or anything.
it looks like my aluminum was like being
no, I
kneecapped
don't
for
think it
some
was.
reason. Because the game was being buggy, or maybe I left some stuff on the conveyor belt that wasn't supposed to be there. Weird. Well, our aluminum is getting better now, but we probably are still going to need more casings anyway. Weird. In Tears of the Kingdom also, yes, you do have the entire map from the first game. It is different a little bit. They've changed some stuff around, but it is basically the same map with stuff in the same place. But I mean, if that's all it was, then I could see people complaining about that if that's literally all the game was just the same map with the same things in the same places, but with like different shrines or whatever. That's not all it is, though. There's actually a lot more to the game than that. I don't know if I should like say that much. You do. It is something that you learn about the game in the first like 10 minutes of playing, or at least as soon as you get off of Tutorial Island. You do learn how much of how much more of the world that you have to potentially explore. I would say it's at least doubled, if not like maybe double and a halved in terms of the amount of places that you can go. Which is pretty good. And then of course you have all of the extra like crap that you can do. Unfortunately, they took away your like the powers that you had in the first game, which I kind of miss. Some of the new powers kind of make up for it, but I miss being able to have an infinite amount of bombs. Having said that, you do also get the ability to have bomb arrows now. You can just make them on the fly. So, I guess it's kind of a trade-off. It's just that they're not infinite, you know?
To make them.
Well, they have like bomb plants now that you collect, and then you have this ability to attach stuff to your weapons. And that includes attaching things to your arrows, which can be very useful in a lot of situations. They actually, you know, it's not just like an afterthought. It's not like they just said, oh, hey, you can attach this to your weapons, or you can attach stuff to your arrows. Isn't that great? You'll never use it, but you can do it. But no, there's a lot of opportunity to use that feature, including
what I'm
bomb
hearing
arrows.
a lot of in regards to the merging system or whatever they decide to call it,
Yeah.
the combining system, is that it kind of makes a lot of the shrines round block in a square hole thing, meaning people just bypass a lot of the puzzle.
You could do that, but I mean, you could do that in the first game too, a bit.
Well, like one example was there was some shrine they were in, and it was like something to do with water orbs. And I think what they're meant to do is like swim through the orbs and navigate the puzzle. What the person did was take their shield, put a bomb on it, jump, and like get into like the shield surf position. The bomb
Yeah.
explodes. They rocket up until they hit the ceiling of the shrine, and then just glided across the entire puzzle.
I mean, people were doing that in the first game. That's exactly the same thing that people were doing in the first game. In fact, that is an exact method that people were doing in the first game. I remember seeing that exact same thing.
but they bypassed this intricately designed puzzle for the easiest solution. So it's like,
I mean, is it that easy though? I mean, would a normal person know that they could do that though? Like on their first playthrough? I don't think so. This is people like showing off and doing their like crazy tricks.
I don't know. I would, if I knew the moment I had a glider, I'd be I'd be abusing it. Oh, what's this? An impassable terrain? How about I just get real high and glide across it?
I mean, that is something that you do in the game. I mean, one of the things in the game is you can go to these certain places and get shot like way up into the air, and then you can just glide as long as you have the stamina bar for it, and you even get a power that can shoot you forward for a few seconds, you know, when you're on your glider. And I mean, you can, you know, traveling across the world, once you kind of get a feel for it, isn't that hard. It can still take kind of a while, but it's you know, it's pretty fun. But again, this is all stuff that you could do in the first game. There's no difference there. This is all stuff that I've seen in the first game years ago.
So you're telling me that they just rebuilt the first game with similar assets? Bunch of hacks they are.
I mean, that's kind of the point of it's why they give you, this is what they did in the first game too. They give you all of your powers, like pretty much right off the bat. You have to go through the tutorial plateau or whatever in the first game, tutorial island in the second game, but you know, same difference. But they give you basically all of your powers before you leave that area, and after that, the game basically expects you to do things with that, to do creative things with those powers. And a lot of the shrine puzzles are essentially teaching you that, like, hey, did you know that you could do this with that power? Well, you better figure it out, because that's how you solve this puzzle. And that's, you know, it like teaches you how to use these powers in ways that maybe you hadn't thought of before, just to solve the puzzle. And yeah,
Well,
maybe people are
I hope
cheesing it,
you
but
enjoy gathering golden poop again.
you know, people are cheesing puzzles, but like, that's not unintended necessarily, you know, like, it's
I think
fine that people are cheesing
bypassing the whole
puzzles.
design of a shrine is kind of like sequence breaking.
I think your face is sequence breaking.
There is no sequence to break.
Yeah, the Korok seeds are still there, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. Of course, one of the things that is a bit samey is the fact that there are just shrines. It's like the same as the first game. The first game, you know, there are these puzzle shrines. You know, they're short and they're focused on a single kind of puzzle, and you solve them and you get like a quarter of a heart piece or whatever, and then you move on. And that is the same as the new game. The new game, the shrines look different. They're using the different powers, but it's basically the same kind of thing. But those different powers are considerably different. They're not just like a different kind of bomb power, a different kind of like picking up things power. It's actually like they are actually kind of new powers used in different ways. And the puzzles do, again, they use those powers in various creative ways just to try to get past the puzzle. And it's still pretty fun. Of course, the powers in the first game didn't let you make a friggin' car with laser beams on it.
Missing out, honestly.
You can do that in the second game. It can make you make a like a propeller powered glider that you can fly around on.
So once I like package fuel, I can't unpackage it?
Yeah, you can unpackage it. Use the same machine, I think. It's either the same machine or there's like an unpackager machine, but either way, yeah, you can unpackage it. Why do you need to do this?
I'm just looking for something to do with the fuel that's kind of backing up a line of it. So
Just
I'm
put it into
building
the
a
sink.
fuel generator.
Okay. I mean, I would just
so
feed it into a sink.
there's
for more
there's
tickets, but
already enough things going into the sink right now.
just make another sink.
No. You make another sink.
I have like 5 sinks around here.
It's wasteful. It could be converted into energy.